Hey guys, it's Tom. Before we get going here, I wanted to do a little bit of a shout out to my sponsors, Muscle Driver USA, Team MD USA, Heavy Athletics Nutrition, StrongandFar.com, and then my personal pet project, TheStrengthAgenda.com. Just got back from the Arnold a couple days ago. We're getting back into the swing of things with training. Thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a recap in terms of how the Arnold went. Not my training, not yet. Anyways, Arnold went. It was good and bad for me. I was in the last session on Saturday night, which was kind of like a catch-22 there because if things go on schedule, that's fine. The schedule said that the session was supposed to go off at 8 or 8:30 or whatnot. But you know how a lot of weightlifting meets are run. Sometimes things happen. They have technical issues. All kinds of stuff can go wrong. So the time just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. So I think it was a little after 9. We actually did get going. I made a total. So that was better than the American Open, obviously. I made a total. I did 137, 182, not very good at all by my standards or, most standards. But, the key thing is I got a total, which, I was happy with to an extent, given, the circumstances and everything. Like I said, I was tired, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, that's usually my bedtime. And right around, that time, as I was getting ready to do clean and jerks. So it is what it is. It's done, it's over with, and moved on. Realistically, I only had 2 full weeks of training with the lifts, so it's just one of those things where I got nationals now. That's my next big meet that I know. We'll probably do a couple local ones here and there in between there. But I think it's like the last weekend in July. I want to say July 27th for some reason. That's nationals. That'll be my next big meet. So I got about 5 months or so. I don't know. I can't add. Yeah, 5 months. I was right. Got about 5 months to get ready for nationals. So I get in 5 months of solid training and get a pretty good total. My goal there is, and it's pretty much my goal or bust. I want to get a 350 total. I want to be competitive in my class soon, and a 350 total will do that. Get me top 5 for sure, possibly top 3 depending on who shows up and what happens at the meet. But I want to get consistent with hitting 150 snatch and 200 kilo clean and jerk. And it's put up or shut up time for me. I've been training for about a year, had ups and downs, but I need to get some consistent training in and push towards getting that 350 total, and then from there we'll evaluate and see how things are going. Arnold Classic is always a great competition, though. It's always a good thing to go to. It's a really big festival. You get to see all kinds of really cool people. I saw Jay Cutler, a couple of other bodybuilders. I'm drawing a blank right now. The guy who won the 202s, Flex Lewis. Met him, met a couple of retired ones. Saw Ronnie Coleman walking around a little bit. Evan Cantaponi. Saw some really big lifts in the animal cage. One in particular that I saw personally happen was Brandon Lilly. I think he deadlifted like 770 or something like that without a belt. That was pretty impressive to watch. He's a real strong dude. I did an interview with him a couple weeks back, so you check that out too on the Strength Agenda. The Lilla Bridges, they're these powerlifting family. It's a dad and 2 brothers that they're pretty much just family of powerlifters. These kids, I've watched Eric. I've been watching Eric for the past couple of years. He's from Chicago, so of course he's good because he's from Chicago. And I've watched him from the time he was a pretty good powerlifter to now he's pretty elite. I believe he's set world records. He's got the world record squat. I know that for a fact, and he's got like all kinds of records as a junior lifter. So there's big things that come from that family in general. I watched him do some pretty good squats. I didn't see it personally, but I saw the videos and whatnot. Another guy was Chad Smith, who's a phenomenal thrower, pretty much an all-around strong guy. I believe he's a pro strongman now. He won his pro card a couple months ago. But I watched him do 700 pounds on the squat for 10 reps. That was pretty impressive too. I saw some good weightlifting. My teammates, James Tatum, totaled 301, did 141, 160, which is really good total for him. It's way more than he did at the Arnold. Mike Zella, another one, did 275. I mean, the kid opened up with lifts that were better or the same as his last attempt he took at the American Open a couple months ago. So for him to total 275 at the Arnold, that's huge for him going into nationals. And then Travis Cooper, clean and jerk 190 as an 85 kilo lifter. That's just phenomenal. I was just really happy to see my teammates do well, and I was hoping for myself to do well, but wasn't in the cards. So moving on from here, Glenn and I have sat down. We've kind of talked a little bit about training from this point on, and we've kind of come to the conclusion that in terms of volume, I'm not a 77, I'm not a 94, so I really can't train like one of those. I'm a super. It takes me a little bit while to recover, and I was getting to the point where all my free time was spent recovering. I either was sitting in a bath of some sort of tempered solution, whether it was hot water, cold water, salt thrown in there, something to make me feel better. And when I wasn't sitting in a tub, I was laying on the floor of my apartment with some kind of lacrosse ball foam roller contraption attached to me or hooked up to a stim unit, just trying to feel better, pounding down ibuprofen and fish oil. I don't like that. I would like to enjoy my free time from time to time. So I bet you my wife would appreciate that too. So what Glenn and I have talked about doing is we're scaling back just a little bit. For these first 2 weeks, nothing crazy, 3 to 4 workouts throughout the week, which is a huge change for those of you who know how Glenn does programming. He's really big on the multiple times a day and whatnot. The other guys are scaling back a little bit too, but I'm only gonna do about 3 or 4 workouts, maybe 5 throughout the week, and then after that I'm gonna go to training once a day. So I'm looking forward to it. We've got some things we got to work on. My finish, for instance, my pull is getting much better. I'm doing a much better job staying back on my heels and everything like that. My finish is really where I'm starting to lose it a little bit. So we're doing a lot of power movements, stuff like that, working on my finish, working on my upper body strength in terms of my lockout. Really, my strength is there. I just the mechanics in terms of to hit that lockout on the finish are a little lagging. So we're going to work on stuff to improve that, and I'm really excited. And I think that's going to help me get to the total that I need to get to. So yeah, that's that. Like I'm looking forward to it. I'm also adding in a little bit of conditioning. Nothing crazy. I'm not doing any CrossFit workouts or anything like that. Just today, for instance, I just did 3 rounds. I think I did, kettlebell swings, like 10 to 15 or something like that. And then I would do like a minute on the rower. Nothing crazy, nothing, psychotic or anything like that. Just a little bit because, you got to keep in mind, even though I am training for Olympic weightlifting, I am still an athlete. And to be able to, function outside of weightlifting is important to me. I was a health teacher and a PE teacher, and I don't want to just be, just some big, dude that could barely bend over and tie his shoes, but you bet you I can clean and jerk, 400 pounds. That's not me. That's not what I want. So, like I said, while weightlifting is my main focus, I would like to be a little more of an athlete in general and be able just to do other things. Like I said, not my main focus. Weightlifting that's number one. Going on to questions, I got a couple questions that people were sending to me, so I figured I'd answer them. The first one, I think my buddy Jared Enderton, who, by the way, is another excellent lifter. If you have not seen any of his lifts, check him out on YouTube. The most impressive one for me is his 157 snatch. That dude can snatch real well. I don't know exactly what he did at the Arnold, but he looked good in his single, and that's all that really matters, right? So his question that he asked was for people who were asking about protein and for people who don't like supplements or shakes or anything like that. What was the best ways, the best like cheap, easy ways to get a lot of protein in your system? 2 tips that I have either done or still do that I think are really useful. One is milk, dairy in general, but milk. First off, personally, I think the whole gallon a day thing is retarded. I've done some research, and I just don't see how that's physically possible for people to keep that up. But drinking a glass of milk, it's got a lot of protein in it, more than you would think. So if you're looking for just something quick and easy, just grab a glass of milk, whole milk, 2% milk, whatever. Don't drink skim because that's absolutely pointless. And hopefully you have a pair. So get some whole milk, get some 2%, drink that. Another one that I used to do when I was teaching, I was always on the run, never really got a lunch break or anything like that, never had a lot of time to sit down and eat. I'd get like 5 minutes or so in between classes. So what I would do is I would buy like dozens of eggs. And I would usually get about 5 dozen eggs, and I would boil a dozen a day, put them in a container, and I had a fridge in my office where I taught, and I would just I would hard boil the eggs and stick them in the fridge. And so as I would come in between classes and stuff, I would grab an egg, open it up, and eat it. And it was quick, easy, good source of protein. It did the job it needed to get done. Obviously, protein shakes are very good in terms of you want a quick source of protein. But personally, you can't beat real food. So if you're looking for real food, I would suggest like things like milk. A lot of meat, has protein, but if you don't have time to prepare it and all that, quick, easy way, before you go to bed at night, just boil a bunch of eggs, put them in a Tupperware container, and stick that into a fridge, or if you have somewhere to keep them cold, put a couple ice packs in your lunchbox, and keep those with you all day, and just crack one open when when you have a quick second to eat, or, like I said, a glass of milk. So those are my suggestions for that. Hopefully that helps you out. If you have any other questions or there's something you would like me to answer, please, go down below where the comment sections are and post your questions, email me. Go to thestrengthagenda.com or my personal website, tomsroka.com. Shoot me a question. I will be happy to answer it for you. I'm going to try to do one of these maybe about once a week or so. So if I can hopefully I can get a bunch of questions. I'll update you about my training, how things are going, all kinds of stuff like that, any projects I'm working on that are coming up and everything like that. So hopefully you find this helpful. Jared, hopefully that answers your question. You can pass that along to anybody that wants to know. And I will catch you guys next time. Take care.